Okay, all right. This is my first real live video, and I'm really excited to come here. Um, Tonight I saw Nope by Jordan Peele for the third time. Oh, I may have to start over. No. Ah, got a little bit of breaking in to do here, no problem. Two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so I've done a little test here, and my name is Paul, and tonight I've seen Jordan Peele's new movie Nope for the third time. Thursday I saw it with a friend of mine, and it was so great that last night, Friday, the 22nd, which was officially opening day, I had to get out to a theater to see it. There weren't many people in the theater on Thursday, and Friday, last night, the 22nd, I was in pretty much a packed house at the Magic Johnson AMC 9 in Manhattan, in Harlem. And now tonight, I wanted to see it again, and I wanted a third venue, and I found an even bigger venue, Lincoln Square, and I was in the middle, like 2/3 back in a real giant house, row J, select seating, middle seat, with a balcony above me and a huge crowd. And let me tell you, I am in love with Nope, and I'm doing this video. I'm just so nuts about it. I am absolutely nuts about this movie, and I want to encourage you to give it a chance and see it more than once. I know that some people would say, well, you got to see a movie more than once. Maybe some people may turn up their nose at that, but let me give you my experience. I went in with high expectations. I was crazy about Us. I went in with very, very high expectations on Thursday. It was really great. I loved it. But I had a lot of questions afterwards, and you miss things, you know? You come away with more questions than you have answers. And I thought, well, I thought of them, you know, not really issues I had, but things I was trying to work out with the movie. And I decided I'm gonna go back a second time. Now, I paid really close attention at the first viewing, and I suggest you do that too. So thank you, Jordan Peele. Holy cow, I'm nuts. I'm not used to going live. So the second viewing, everything came together, and it was very exciting, because when the movie opens, all the time that you see these little clues, the little exposition, little conversations, you hear this mentioned, you hear that mentioned, you know. I remember, for example, in the first viewing, I remember the x-ray of Otis Sr. in the hospital after, you know, his fall off the horse. And I remember looking at the x-ray, you know. It wasn't a long shot, but it was there, and it was a split shot of the front side view of his skull and the left of his skull. And I noticed something, you know, something on that x-ray that just I noticed, right? But I didn't really register it totally consciously, but I knew it was there. Well, by the end of my second viewing, I realized what it was. So tonight on my third viewing, I took a really close look. And oh my gosh, I'm going to give this is not going to be totally spoiler free, but I will tell you this before I go into real details, and I'm not going to get too detailed, but they are going to be spoilers. So let me ask you, if you're watching this live, welcome, thank you for coming, but don't just stop this video now and save it, bookmark it, and come back tomorrow or the next day. So come back after you've seen Nope. So I noticed that there was an object. There were objects falling from the sky during the moment in the trailer where the old guy on the horse, Otis Hayward Sr., the father of the two main characters, he collapses and falls off his horse, goes in the hospital, passes away. Very tragic. Just a beautifully told story. That little episode of their father's death. It was told very sensitively and lovingly and tragically. But when you see Nope, let me tell you something. Jordan Peele is a very good director. And a good director does not put things in a movie that don't mean anything, usually. They rarely just throw in random stuff that's just meaningless, right? But also they don't want to have to explain everything. They want you to see it again. I mean, if you see a good movie, when I saw it Monday, I knew I'd be seeing it again. I mean, there was no question I'd be seeing it again. So I didn't really sweat it that I didn't quite comprehend everything, because it's a mysterious movie. It's a beautifully told, masterfully told story. And it seems long. That's another thing I'm going to tell you. It's 131 minutes running time where I saw it, in the AMC theaters. AMC 34th Street on Thursday, AMC Magic Johnson in Harlem on Friday, and tonight AMC Lincoln Square, Dolby, big house. It's a long 131 minutes. That's 120 minutes is 2 hours. So that's an hour, 2 hours and 21 minutes. And holy cow, were there a lot of trailers in the first night at the IMAX theater on Thursday. There must have been, I really mean, there must have been over a half hour of trailers at the IMAX. I'm not kidding you. I didn't really mind, but I was with a friend. So let me just give you another quick, reintroduce myself, because what I'm going to do tonight is I'm just going to go stream of consciousness and talk about and celebrate this movie, because this is what my passion is. I love movies, and I love audience reactions. I like reaction videos, although I've never filmed any. But being an aficionado lately of the reaction videos, I knew how important it was for me now to go into a theater with a good audience, to go in arrested, to go in with a packed house, go on opening night or close to opening night, because you need that energy, you need that energy around you, which is why Thursday I was a little surprised when there's not many people there. So my name is Paul, I live in Harlem, 149th Street, Riverside Drive. What else can I tell you about myself? I'm a writer, I'm an assistant, and I'm a singer. There's not a lot about me you need to know personally. You'll notice the name of my YouTube channel is called Mind Rape the Book. Now, just to explain that is going to be the primary function of this channel, to promote publish a book about bullying. So you see I've got a strange username, Mind Rape the Book. That's why. It's a book title, but it has nothing to do with this video and nothing to do with movies. So, Paul, New York City, Harlem. I didn't even really discover Nope as a movie that had existed until a few weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago at the most. It went over my head, and I thought the title was interesting, and of course, I was so crazy about Us, I had to go see it again. I mean, I had to go see Nope. I mean, I wasn't going to miss it, but when I saw the trailers, oh my gosh. Sometimes when I watch the trailers to a movie, I kick myself afterwards because I'm afraid I watch a trailer, I'll watch it many, many times. Just like going into the theater, I'll watch it many times. When I buy a movie, I'll watch it many times. But I was a little concerned that I had watched the trailer too much, and I decided I'm going to cut back on that. If I need a little trailer fix, I'll go look at the teaser, look at a shorter version. Don't look at anything else. But let me tell you, Jordan Peele gives you just enough information you need in the trailer. He doesn't give you too much. He doesn't give you too little. You need the amount of crazy detail in the trailer because you better go into this movie expecting there's going to be a lot of things you're going to have to figure out, because there are. So if you go in with kind of a la-di-da lazy attitude, which I'm sure you wouldn't do, but somebody who goes in there just because I'm going to go see a movie tonight, boy, if you're not paying attention, you're missing it out. On the other hand, he does not give anything away that's important. All of the beautiful and exciting, I mean, the movie's so original. You can tell from the trailer, it's a highly original movie. And it's kind of like a Close Encounters or Jaws type. It's a big blockbuster scale. But there's a lot of detail. And, there's a lot in the story. And it's so exciting. I'm telling you, I'm rambling. But that's what I'm going to sit here and do on this Vive video. I'm just going to sit and ramble and see who checks in. Maybe later I'll publish this in a second form, edited down. But I have to tell you, I listened to a couple of interviews with Jordan Peele yesterday and today. And I just have to tell you, I mean, this video really, I wanted in some ways to be my love letter and thank you note to Jordan Peele and say, Jordan Peele, thank you for loving us. Thank you for loving your audience. Thank you for coming to make your film with love, with all your skill and all your attention, and present it lovingly for our enjoyment and our anticipation and our excitement and our joy. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan Peele, for loving us. I know you love your audience. I know that you have aimed very high with all your movies, and I know there's been sort of layers of aiming with Get Out and then Us and now Nope, that the bigger scale and the grander vision. I have a feeling that this movie has been around for, in your head and on your storyboards for a long time. It's masterfully done. The music is masterful. The acting is masterful. The brother and sister, OJ and Emerald, they're great casting. And I'm going to try to explain, I'm going to now talk a little bit about some of the, I'm not going to call them negative reviews, but some of the hesitations, some of the kind of uncertainties or questions I've listened to in a few viewer, responses to the movie. A lot of people love it, obviously. Some people are a little confused about the chimp thing, Gordy the chimp. Can I just tell you, the very first thing you hear in this film, even when the title credits are playing for Monkey Paw, the very first thing you hear is a joke from a sitcom called Gordy's House, okay? Let me tell you something. A great director like Jordan Peele does not put in something so conspicuous for no reason. And the chimp is really an odd aspect to this movie, because I know it's confusing the heck out of people. And I would just, encourage you, rather than trying to invent, strange theories about the chimp thing, just listen to a couple of interviews with Gordon Peele. There's one where he talks about spectacle. The opening of the movie shows a Bible verse that I will throw abominable filth at you. I will throw vile abomination at you. I will make a spectacle of you. That's a verse from the book of Nahum, a prophet in the Bible. And that's O-T. Spectacle is a big part of the movie. Again, ramble, stream of consciousness. This movie, of course, is also very much about movies. There's so many subplots having to do with film and camera and TV and movies and devices and gadgets and wide shots and camera angles and things. There's a lot of the story has to do with cameras. A lot of the story has to do with filming, and also horses are really a big major part of this movie. The horses are not some incidental, like you could have picked any animal. The two main characters, the Haywood family, Otis Sr. and his son Otis Jr., OJ, and his daughter Emerald, totally opposite characters, really great portrayals. They've been running, as you know already, a family Hollywood movie farm, a horse stable to rent out horses and stunts and things for the movies and TV. So it's a lot of businesses in the film industry are generational. So you may have been in a movie, and your mother may have been a seamstress, and your grandfather may have been, a crew member, So it's a family that's been in the movies. In fact, there's a beautiful moment. I didn't figure it out until Friday. I listened to an interview, and somebody brought up OJ's orange hoodie. When he's going out, I think in the third act, he puts in this orange hoodie. And again, stop the video if you don't want spoilers. And this isn't really a spoiler, but it sort of is, because it's cool detail. And I don't want to give you anything away, but pay attention to the hoodie. This bright orange hoodie, at the back of it, across the back, it says "Crew" in large letters. And along the side, it says Panavision, which is a film company, a camera, a filming format, Panavision. And the front has a reference to the movie The Scorpion King. Okay, well, Emerald tells us it's such a touching story she tells in the beginning when she's doing this with Otis, and she watched the horse as a little girl. She watched the horse she wanted, maybe a teenager. She saw the horse she loved and expected to have. She saw that being trained and sent off to do a movie, and she was really heartbroken, and her father didn't even tell her. Otis Jr., OJ, reminded her it wasn't a Western, he said. It was Scorpion King. And that was a long time before that. In that shot of them as like teenagers, maybe, Otis Jr., OJ's quite young. He looks like maybe he could be 18 or 20 at the very most, maybe younger, maybe 16. But he said Scorpion King was the first movie shoot my dad brought me to. See, he hung on to that orange hoodie because his dad, it meant a lot to him as a kid to be on a movie set doing his first movie job on the crew of a movie. And here it is, late in life, his father's gone. The horse stable, is kind of in a fluctuation situation. Are they selling or are they not selling? The future is really uncertain. The horses, they may be saying goodbye to the horses forever, and they don't want to. And they've just lost their father. And OJ pulls out this orange hoodie. It's so sweet. What's really great, in fact, I'm going to encourage you to see it 3 times. I would say don't see it twice in one day, because 2 hours and 20 minutes is a long movie, okay? And you want to give yourself a little bit of breathing room and some rest after the first viewing. It's an exciting, thrilling movie, and you're going to walk away high as a kite. If you rush back in the same day to see it the second time, if you're like me, you may actually get more tired, and it may be harder for you to pay attention. You may even fall asleep. It's not a boring movie, but it's a long walk up a big mountain. It's a beautiful story. So the second time I watched it, holy cow, was it exciting, because all of the details came together. I had paid attention, and every detail, I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Everything made sense. The key and the horse made sense. The cameras made sense. Oh my gosh, so many of the lines made sense. And so the second viewing, if you watch it like me, it may be really, really super rewarding, because you're just sitting there giggling to yourself with joy, because you are anticipating all of this great stuff, and all of your questions are being answered. Most of the questions you walk away with after the first viewing, that's fine. Don't take that as a negative. Go and see it again. Pay attention. The second viewing, it'll come together for you, and it's like, wow. Well, let me tell you, the third movie was even more exciting, because all of my real big questions were answered. All the good, important, big questions. And I enjoyed the second viewing so much. I knew it was going to be a long watch and long viewing. So to the third viewing, I was rested, I was energetic, and I just kicked back with my Coca-Cola and my strawberry Twizzlers and my M&Ms, and I just drank it in. I didn't care how long it was. I don't care what, the pace was perfect. The pace is absolutely perfect. Jordan Peele lovingly takes his time to set so many things up. Many things in a subtle way. He lays out the story. You take that first course, you come back a second night, it comes together. And the third night, oh my gosh, I went to an 8:30 viewing tonight. It's now actually technically Sunday, July 24. But I saw it, at 8:30 about 5 hours ago at Lincoln Square. I dashed on the subway from 149th Street, and I got off at 66 to Lincoln Square, and I walked in just in time to be in my seat when the lights went up. Oh my gosh. What an exciting movie. As you can tell, I'm a very excitable, enthusiastic person. I mean, I'm nuts about movies, and I've got a lot of energy for movies. And I can get a little carried away, but I think there's no question in my mind that this will get a Best Picture nomination, okay? That's just a given. There's not going to be 5 other movies that Hollywood and America and the world are more excited about than Nope. In fact, I noticed if you go to IMDb, Nope already has won an award. It's won something like the Hollywood Film Association mid-season, most anticipated mid-season film, something like that. Because it's now in the middle of the movie season for 2022. And of course, it's eligible for the next Oscars. I don't know when the calendar is, January 1 to December 31. I don't know, but it's the middle of the calendar system, and this is the most anticipated picture so far this year by Hollywood. And there's no way. I know there's going to be a lot of other movies. I won't be able to see all of them. I don't have a lot of money. I certainly won't be able to afford to go in the theaters. I really treated myself, this week to 3 nights and a friend on Thursday. And I'm not going to be seeing any more movies in the theaters for a long time. But, boy, what a beautiful movie. So beautiful, so exciting, so satisfying. And every time a new chapter begins, it feels more like a 5-act film than a 3-act film, if you will. Oh, the climax. It's so wonderful to go to a movie and watch it through and see all this stuff. And you will never guess. You will never guess the ending. You will never guess why certain things are captured in the frame. But they're there for a reason. I'm going to jump now into my consciousness to these wacky floating men, these goofy balloon, tall, floating, wacky dancing men. I'd seen these things before, and it took me a really long time to Google them to find out what they were called, because no matter what I looked up, I couldn't find pictures. I was doing Google images, and I couldn't find a picture. I was putting in balloon, long balloon dancing, like all sorts of stuff, right? Well, if you Google wacky dancing man or wacky inflatable dancing man, you will find these long, tall, kind of air puppets, these balloon puppets. I absolutely knew, without a question, when I saw them in the trailer. I knew they were important. Directors like to add objects in film that are interesting, that are visually interesting and exciting and curious, But they don't do it. A good director just doesn't do it randomly, The wacky inflatable dancing men are very striking to look at when the first time you see them in a trailer or the first time you see them in the shot. And, okay, here's a spoiler. After the beginning, when OJ and Emerald are heading home, and Emerald is sitting in the passenger side of the pickup truck and the horse trailer, and they're driving up to this Aqua Canyon Boulevard exit or something, getting close to their ranch. They drive by. You see the wacky inflatable dancers for the first time up ahead of her on the road. And they're all just in this airy, goofy, crazy, goofy. They bow down and they bow back up. And they're all doing it differently. But what's really cool is after you see them in front of her, Jordan Peele puts in a shot of Emerald through the passenger window of the truck. And one by one, these different wacky guys come floating by, different colors reflecting in the pickup truck window. And it is such a freaking cool shot. I mean, it is so iconic. When I saw that, I thought, holy cow. If a director shows you images in a mirror, or if a director puts things in a window behind somebody that are kind of conspicuous, stop paying attention to the character for a moment and look at what's being reflected in the window. Emerald is sitting relaxing, thinking, talking, whatever. And these wacky guys, purple and pink and red and yellow and green and blue, and they're all coming by one. It is the most ingenious shot. Stream of consciousness. I'm going to jump to the camera. I was very excited. When I was watching the trailer, I got to calm down. I'm getting verklempt here. I'm so happy tonight. I'm so happy. Gosh, God, thank you so much for a great director and a great film. God, thank you, Jesus. So, I was so excited in the trailer to see that the cinematographer character, played by Michael Wincott, is that he was using an IMAX camera, and I think that when I saw that, I looked it up and I saw that Jordan Peele filmed it in IMAX as well. So, in other words, the movie Nope is filmed in IMAX, but something that the cinematographer is filming, he also uses an IMAX camera. And the really cool thing about that is, at some point when you're shooting a camera or a film, the reel is going to run out and you have to change the reel. So at one point, Antlers Holst has to stop for a moment and have his assistant, Angel, swap out a new canister of film. Well, let me tell you, it's freaking huge. I think one of the most exciting things in that movie was to see that gigantic canister of IMAX film being lifted off, set aside, and this another big gigantic canister stuck back on. And it looks like it's kind of a double, kind of like where, you know how a cassette tape has two spools, running? It makes sense because you view a film on a single spool, but when you're filming it, you have to put the film through and start on one spool and go to the other. So the IMAX film canister is, gosh, it's maybe this thick. It's big. It's this big mother, and boy, oh boy, I just saw that. I don't know. I say thank you, Jordan Peele. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a great moment to see that. Another stream of consciousness. I've read a lot of theories about why the movie's called Nope, and people come up with reasons, and they do. But Jordan Peele explained it, and I saw the video today, I think, and it was the funniest darn thing. It's very simple. He said something to the effect that black people can put up with so much, they will put up with something up to a point. But they have this very definite point where they're not going to put up with it anymore, and it's all just like, nope, it's like, I'm out of here, And that's why the movie is called Nope. It is that response that says, oh, okay, that's it. This is enough for me. I'm not tolerating anymore. I'm walking out. I'm just getting out. I got to stop this. And I laughed so hard when he explained that. I love the guy. And I explained the title to my brother today, and he had a good laugh too. It's so simple, I always try to encourage people to listen to directors explain their work if you have a theory that you're not sure of, because they'll explain it. There's usually not going to be crazy stuff that they hide from you, and it's a total secret, and they never want their audiences to know. No, they're not going to always explain everything. Stanley Kubrick deliberately did not explain a lot of things in movies like The Shining and 2001, not because he wanted you to come up with stupid theories, but because he gave you what you needed to know, and then he put that stuff in to just make you think and create an impression in your mind, It's not necessarily a puzzle to be solved. So, I would say that there's certainly a lot of mysteries about Nope. There were moments, even in the second viewing, I came away from the second viewing still not convinced that I knew what it was up in the sky. I wasn't. I had doubts, and then I went back to my original theory, and then I had doubts again, and I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe the third viewing, it was clear to me that my first instinct was correct. That it wasn't a red herring, but it was so wondrous and unexpected and unusual and original and puzzling and vexing that you can't help but wonder, because he throws this stuff in where you just like, wait a minute, what did I just see? I mean, that's a really big part of, I think, probably the whole UFO theme is you see something and, your first instinct is like, I think I saw something, and then later you're confused, or maybe you're just thinking, what in the world was that? I don't know what it was. I can't explain what it was. I got it on my iPhone, oh my gosh. What should I call them? I don't want to give away things, but OJ sees something in the stable at night when he turns off the lights and they go on again. And I don't know what's going on, but he sees something. Oh my gosh. It was so great to listen to the audience, to feel them react. What a great moment. Now the character of Ricky Jupe Park, Mr. Park and his family. Mr. Park is an unusual character, and he's the one connected to Chimp, Gordy the Chimp. And you'll see it. Jupe is an interesting character. He's got his own past, he's got his own history, he's got his own motives. He's not really, I would not call him necessarily an admirable character. He's sympathetic in that you gotta love the actor. Stephen Yeun is great. Stephen Yeun is just so pitch perfect with Ricky Jupe, with every moment. He's absolutely perfect. But as much as you love him, he's not entirely sympathetic. You'll understand his motives are maybe different. And the thing that's really weird about Jupe is his attitude about the Gordie House episode from 1998. He treats that whole affair, he basically capitalized on that, I mean, he was a kid actor, and he capitalized on something that happened during an audience taping, and he treats it like a sideshow, his own little sideshow, and it's his little hook, and he talks about it with just a sense of happiness and love and aura, and how great and exciting and meaningful it was. And it's like, wait a minute, what happened at Gordie's house? Happy birthday, Gordie. It's not exactly something that you come away with, like, happy about. Now, I noticed another reference. I've read people's reactions to the whole chimp thing, and it's really wonderful. I mean, I love audience reactions, and even if it's just the review is the only reaction, because people are talking about that chimp. And it's so odd. It it does seem very incongruous. It is the sort of thing where you come away and you think, what the heck is that doing? What does that have to do with anything? I don't get this at all. I'm just going to say it again. The first thing you heard when that movie opened, the very first thing you heard was the line from Gordie's house on audio only. Very early image, you saw a chimp. It's important. Remember later, we'll call him Holst, Antlers Holst, but the filmmaker's last name is Holst. Michael Wincott, oh my gosh. He, I want him to get at least a Best Supporting Actor nomination. He might not get an Oscar for this, but I think that Michael Wincott deserves a Supporting Actor nomination for his portrayal of the great cinematographer Antlers Holst. What an arc to that story. It was a one-eyed, one-horned, lion, purple people eater. Wow. Otis Sr., OJ's father. There was a conversation he had with his son before he died about one of their horses, and he said, I wasn't sure if I heard the line exactly the first time, but he either said, I heard certain animals can never be tamed. Well, what he really said, and I listened to it the second and third time, was the word trained. That was his word. He said, some animals were never meant to be trained. He was talking about a horse. One of their horses could be a little rambunctious and kick back and not get so cooperative and not so friendly, even to the trainer. Not a bad horse, just not exactly an optimally trainable horse. A little bit of a problem. And that moment in the beginning of the movie with, the little woman in the blonde hair, that was great. It was so unexpected. I was not expecting what happened on that film shoot. And Otis's father was going to reminisce, and I think that horse was Lucky. And who OJ and Emerald, OJ eventually sold to Jupe. And I believe Emerald went back and stole Lucky back, right? But they're talking about Lucky because he was a problem. And then they bring up, it ties in with Gordy the chimp. You see, some animals were never meant to be trained. And evidently you can't film chimps anymore that way. You can't use chimps, evidently, in the movies in the way they've been used in the movies before, because they're dangerous. They're very dangerous. They're very, very dangerous, and they're unpredictable, and they can kill people. A chimp is strong enough to just tear off your arm. A chimp could probably tear the arm off of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Chimps are very strong. And I noticed when Holst and OJ and Emerald are talking about Jupe sitting around at the Haywood home, Holst says he compares the chimp incident with Jupe. He compares it to the words Siegfried and Roy come up. He says Siegfried and Roy. Something about Siegfried and Roy. If you remember, Siegfried and Roy were these two men who were animal lion tamers, and one of them, I believe, was attacked and killed by a tiger. Okay, and this was after they'd had a long, long, long career with these animals. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows. And at one point, a tiger in real life attacked one of the Siegfried and Roy pair. And Holst brings that up with relation to Jupe and the chimp, and also in relation, of course, to Lucky, or maybe it was Ghost, this unpredictable horse. Oh, gosh. Another thing, that house is such a beautiful set piece. And I'm telling you, those of you who know movie lore and know a lot about the movies, I'm just going to be very vague here. But the house looks very iconic. It looks like an homage to another movie house. And the clue I'll give you is the words California gingerbread. There is a style of American architecture and homes from that period, the older period in California, that is, these big frame wooden houses with nice detail in the windows and casements and awnings and things. And that style is sometimes known as California gingerbread, and that's a movie reference. I'd love to see some comments. If you know instinctively right off the bat what that's referring to, put it in the comments. I'd like my viewers to see it. It's really exciting. I only regret that we didn't get to see more of the inside of that house. I mean, it's a major set piece. It's very beautiful. It's very important to the film. A lot of things happen in and around the house. That's where basically most of the plot is set around that. But, and when you see it light up and the lights go down, the lights come up, the lights go down, you see these shots of it and the wonderful dormer windows with these little awnings and casements and fenestrations and woodwork. Oh, it's just a beautiful house. Who would want to live in a house like that? It's, California gingerbread. California gingerbread. Another astonishing moment. A very, very, very poignant moment is near the very end when Holst gets up with his camera. He picks up his camera and he does something. Holst makes a very big decision at that point. I think the line is something like, "We don't deserve the impossible." When Emerald called him, he had been at her film shoot with OJ a few days before. And that's how she got his number. She calls him blind. She's a great, enthusiastic, salesperson for herself. She calls him blind, she identifies herself, and he says, "How'd you get my number?" And she says, "I got it from the call sheet. We met at the, at the shoot 2 days ago." So he's off somewhere else in the world, I don't know where, sitting around doing cinematography work on black and white shots of animals and bugs and stuff, and horses and things. I don't know what they are, tigers or something. And he kind of brushes her off. But later, he comes back. And she told him the reason she picked Holst was he was such a good cinematographer. She said she couldn't tell him what it was. But she said, "I need you for the impossible shot. I've got a shot that I've got to get that's an impossible shot. And I think you may be the only person in the world who can get it with his camera." And what a camera. Oh, that's great. Here's another very completely non-random line. "I wonder what it's like when an electric bike going 60 miles an hour hits an anti-electric field going in the opposite direction." That's a very funny line. It's very funny. Emerald mentions in the very beginning when she's talking about, "I'm an actress, director, producer, singer, crafts, blah, 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 costume," she also mentions that she's into motorcycles. And that's an interesting moment. This character shows up. He's seen briefly in the trailer with this silver helmet. Very mysterious. Oh man, I tell you, if you really want to freak out somebody, out on the street, you get dressed up in a leather motorcycle outfit, ride in a white motorcycle with a big giant chrome helmet with a chrome visor where you can't see their eyes. They can't see your eyes. You want to freak somebody out, you do that. You play the mysterious biker from Nope. That is brief, not minor, but brief character. Really freaking amazing. I mean, it's so wonderful when you see a trailer with so many little images. You know, you look at the final trailer and the international trailers for Nope, and there are things flashing by. So many images, all sorts of things, wacky things. You do see the chink, you see the bugs, you see stuff. You just see stuff going by, and it's like, I don't know what the heck. I was talking to my brother today, and he said, I can't tell from the trailer what the heck that's about. I mean, he knew it had something to do with horses, and I said, well, yeah, it has a lot to do with horses. I'd say that's, you know, if you're going to have a one-line, you know, summary of the movie, I think horses should be in that 1 or 2 line summary. They're integral to the film. They're very exciting. Lucky, Jean Jacket. Jean Jacket was the horse that Emerald lost. As a teenager, her father gave Jean Jacket away. She thought she was going to get that horse. Went away, never saw Jean Jacket again. I don't think. I'm telling you, whatever you feel. I mean, I understand not all movies are for everybody. I may seem like I'm overselling the movie because I tend to do that because I'm very enthusiastic and very excited. I just have to get all this out. I mean, I've seen it 3 nights in a row now, and I've just got to jump up and down and say thank you, Jordan Peele, for loving us. You know, if there was any question in my mind about what Jordan Peele's aspirations are, you know, as an artist, filmmaker, businessman, whole thing, you know, there's one thing that's unquestioned. He loves his audience. He loves the movies, and he loves his audience. And he shows that. Jordan Peele put so much love in this film. He put so much love up on the screen, so much hard work, so much detail, so much planning, meticulous, thoughtful, careful, ingenious, vexing, mysterious, inexplicable, crazy stuff. And everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. It's not some random hodgepodge nonsense film. Everything integrates into this beautiful story. I'm not going out on a limb to say that it's going to get it nominated for Next Picture. That's not going out on a limb. Like I said, there are not going to be 5 movies this year that are going to excite people more than Nope, or 5 movies that are, and I'd say best director as well. I mean, writer, director, producer. I think Jordan Peele does costumes and sews clothes. I think he's into motorcycles. He'll cater your parties. I mean, Jordan Peele, he does it all. I love you, Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele, if you ever see this video now or one day, many years from now, just leave a comment, because I want you to know I thought about you this week with so much gratitude and so much admiration, and that big smile on your face when you talk about the film, your good cheer, your great attitude. And I just say thank you, Jordan Peele, for loving us. You gave me one of the most wonderful movies. One of the most wonderful movies I've ever seen. You know, I was very disappointed to hear some people go dissing bad on Us. I thought, yeah, okay, another thing. When I was watching Us in the theater the first time, I mean this literally, this I was so filled with wonder and admiration for the craft. When I was watching Us, I was thinking, I am watching the Citizen Kane of scary movies. Jordan Peele took that genre and he created a Citizen Kane of scary movies with Us. Us is really something to behold, because there is a lot of stuff that you just will never ever predict or understand. It's so enjoyable. It is so entertaining. And, you know, I think Jordan Peele has given us another Close Encounters. I've heard people compare it to Jaws, and I couldn't figure out why. I figured out why on the third viewing. So, watch the movie, leave a comment about, and like and subscribe, and hit the bell and all that stuff if you care to. But watch the movie one time and come back and leave, your initial thoughts, up and down, questions, whatever, put down your thoughts. See it a second time, pay attention the first time, see it a second time, come back, tell me what you think after the second time. I really want to hear that. And then I want you to see it a third time. And relax again. Not all on the same day. Rested, relaxed. If you really like it the second time, right? If you really like it the second time, you're going to go nuts about it the third time. Because the third time, so many things fall into place. I was very confused about how Angel was onto them. I know OJ and Emerald were acting a little weird, and Angel really crossed the line and, crossed the boundary of propriety because he was so curious. And I wasn't so sure. I could not figure out, what did I miss? And I saw it on the second viewing when they're setting up camera B, the second camera. And Angel, just go, when you watch it the second time, because don't watch this until you've watched Nope. Fair warning. When you see it the second time, watch OJ and Angel, their interchange, and setting up the camera after Emerald is left. Watch them very carefully. Watch what Angel does, hands on the laptop, and watch what OJ does, and watch what the camera does, and that's going to tell you how Angel was onto them. So brilliant. So brilliant. So brilliant. I am so excited for this movie. I'm going on 58 minutes and 18 seconds. I love you. I'm just crazy about Nope, and I'm crazy about Jordan Peele. I gotta cut this off because I'm insane. So thank you for watching. My name is Paul from Harlem in New York City. I'm concluding my reaction to 3 viewings of Nope on 3 consecutive nights, pre-opening, opening, and Saturday after opening. And I'm crazy about it. It is so much fun. It is so much fun. We're going to be talking about this movie a lot. People are going to be talking about this for a long time. Don't let anybody put you off of this movie. I know that for some reason, people have odd reactions to various Jordan film work. Some people are crazy about Get Out and they hate Us. Some of them didn't like Get Out, like me, they loved Us. I didn't really understand Get Out. Don't listen to them. They're wrong. I'm right. Jordan Peele is a genius. Thank you, Jordan Peele. I love you.